This past Saturday, it was a little different for our football team. First of all, it's rare when we go outside the state of Texas to play a ball game. And we didn't just go out of the state, we went a long way to the East Coast. First time ever for most of our players to be in that part of the country. In fact, most of our coaches. But a host of Texas fans met us, and in a great sports complex against another nationally ranked team, we set some records that we'd like to share with you in just a moment.
The Fred Akers Show, with highlights of University of Texas football action, narrated by the head coach of the Texas Longhorns, with sportscaster Steve Ross.
Hey Coach, sorry I can't be there to thank you and all the great Longhorns that are with you today, but I do want to tell you how special you are to this university, this program, and everything we do, as well as your former players that are there with you tonight. They mean the world to us, and we love it when they come back, come around, and pay tribute to you and everything you did for them. So thanks again for everything, and hook 'em horns.
You know, what Coach Akers did, he taught us how to be men. He was under a lot of pressure following a legend, and he had to win. He was there to win, but he wanted us to do everything the right way. You talk about culture, and I think we all appreciate that. As we've gotten older, we see the values he established, and I know it's helped me in my lives.
The work level, how Coach prepared us mentally, which was another innovative move where he taught guys how to think. He taught guys how to visualize what was going to happen on the field before it happened. And for me, coming out of Seguin, you know, visualizing stuff like that was never part of anything I did in high school. But to really think about catching a touchdown in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line, and when that actually happened, I mean, things like that, those are the tools he gave us.
Coach Akers was one of my coaches in high school. His very first coaching job was at Port Arthur, Texas, right out of Arkansas. He and Diane came to Port Arthur. They weren't 4 or 5 years older than the guys there, and he started his coaching career, and he was my position coach. I played quarterback, but the main thing that he taught me was they drilled it into us. Their main lesson was to never quit.
Coach Akers made you feel special. And he talked about academics, about education, what the University of Texas could do for you after football. He said all the things that made me feel like this was the right place for me, and of course it was.
You know, this is family, and you can tell by the number of people that showed up out here, and we're way out here in Horseshoe Bay. And it's 102 degrees, and they get these kind of folks, this number of folks showing up for Coach. I think it's awesome. And it bodes well for what he did and what his players thought of him.
I think that Coach Akers always expected everybody to be ready. And so he never acted like I was a third-string quarterback. He just said, you know, he planned for me to be in there and do my job. And so I think that helped me, knowing that he had confidence in me and to go out there and perform.
So I got to come back and coach at the University of Texas, all because Coach Akers hired me back after I had left to go to Dallas, you know. And so I come back, I coach here for 5 years. We have really good teams. You know, I get to coach the greatest defensive backs in the world at the time, you know, and it's so much fun. And then after that, I got into pro football, and because I coached for him, I got 31 years in the NFL. So, I can't see how anybody really owes Coach Akers a whole lot more than I do.
When I met Coach Fred Akers, 3 things stand out to me. One was dress for success. The other one was encouragement. And in all of that, I saw the leadership from day one of what type of coach he was going to be and what type of coach I really wanted to play under.
Honestly, this group, I'm sure I could see any one of the players, you know, that played when I was there and just mesh right back in with them because we were a family.
But I do remember the bus ride from the Austin airport back to the locker room, and Coach Akers stared at me the whole time on that bus ride back. He was looking at me, and I felt like he was asking me, can I count on you? And yeah, that was, and so we cut that part. But he, I knew he was going to give me a chance right there, and I looked back at him, you know, with my best. Yeah, you're dang right. I can do it.
And Coach Akers always said this: you will be everybody's bowl game. So they won't have their A game. So you could not afford to come into a game and play your B or C game. If you wanted to be the best, you had to beat the best. So we wanted to take on all the challenges. We didn't care who you were, where you were, it made no difference to us. And Coach Akers put that in all of us, to have confidence, to believe in who we were and what we were doing. We felt like we could win every single ball game. We really did.
Then I get here, and I've seen, 100 guys that was there when I was coaching. Maybe more than that. And so I'm getting to enjoy just an amazing night right here, and I'm so glad Diane did this. It's been a really good night for me.
And being under Coach Akers' leadership, a guy who I admire, who I love, and with the leadership he has, dress for success that he has taught us, and the encouragement. The encouragement comes in when I was diagnosed with colon cancer 6 years ago. Before surgery, who calls me first? My head coach. I didn't know I was going to live or die, but because of what the pep talk he gave me, I can do it. You're strong-minded, and you're going to beat it. And I swallowed that. And here I am, 6 years later, cancer-free.